Hello friends, I hope you're all being kind to yourself today. I made this painting a few months ago with the intention of sharing my watercolor process step by step, but as I was going along, I realized that I was not capturing a beautiful masterpiece, but instead quite the opposite. I am not happy with how this painting turned out at all, and I was determined that this footage was just gonna die in a dusty corner alongside my confidence to paint. But that sounded just a little bit depressing, so instead I'm going to let this video see the light of day and walk us all through 5 things to remember when you make bad art. First, as this video is proof of, you are not alone in making bad art. Literally, everyone makes art they consider bad, whether you're a professional or an amateur. Whatever creative discipline you follow, you will make bad art, and every person who came before you, or is coming after you, or who you follow and admire, has and will continue to make bad art. It is actually super normal and a part of the learning process that not everyone talks about all the time. Even if you consider yourself a master at your craft, you're not going to make a perfect piece every time. That's literally impossible, and holding ourselves to these standards is just an extremely unhealthy expectation. So we can all work to expect bad art to happen, because not only is failing something everyone deals with, but failing is necessary to succeed. Now, I definitely fall under the label of a perfectionist, as I'm sure many of you do as well. And this is my least favorite thing to keep in mind, but it is also so completely true. Failing may mean we are trying new things, whether that be new media, new subjects, or just trying out a different style or technique. Or maybe failing just means that my brain decided to go on a holiday the moment I took out the paints. But one of my favorite analogies is that of strength training in the gym. Now, I am not a sciencey person, but I've heard that when you lift weights, your muscles are actually tearing, and then when they repair, they are healing in a way that makes you stronger. So failing is really a non-negotiable, vital step of both your weight training journey and your art journey. And even if you fail, you learned something. At the very least, when you make bad art, you can identify why it is bad art and work to not repeat that process and avoid the mistakes you've already made. Maybe you'll even realize there are parts about it that you like. These realizations can only happen, though, when you actually sit with your work and analyze it. And that's really challenging to do when I personally would rather tear this piece out of my sketchbook and throw it into a black hole than look at it for longer than 10 seconds. But for the sake of this video, I will attempt to do so. First off, I really added way too much water throughout the process, which did not help the look I was going for and made the process much longer because everything had to dry. And I also didn't pencil out a sketch before laying down paint, which might have helped my composition a bit if I had done that. Some of the trees do look pretty good though. They're very happy trees. Okay, a simple but often forgotten thing to remember when sitting in front of your bad art is to recognize that you actually made a thing. In a world that promotes consumption and monetizes our attention, the fact that you created something with your precious time is a huge win. As Mr. Rogers said, it feels good to do things, no matter how anybody says it is. It feels good to have made something. So try to be proud of your work, even if you or somebody else says it looks bad, because you made it, and that is worth celebrating. Now, probably the most important and most difficult thing to remember when making bad art is that your quality of work has absolutely no impact on the quality of you. I, like many others, internalize affirmations of my achievements as affirmations that I'm a worthy person. But just being a human means I have value, and what I can or cannot create has zero effect on that. The hardest thing about this mindset is not just fighting against the dopamine response of likes and shares online, but believing that even good art doesn't change my value as a person. So whether my work has done well or poorly, I am still a creature on this planet deserving of love and respect. This is one of the most difficult statements to internalize, but it is absolutely worth training my brain to believe it. So make sure you repeat it to yourself often. And hopefully by the time you've reminded yourself of all of these things, you feel a little better about the bad art you made. I know I feel a little bit better about this piece, or at least I don't feel like throwing it into a black hole anymore. So I look forward to making more bad art with you. Thanks so much for joining, and until next time, be kind and be creative.